Hello, coming in with turn 2 of scenario 1 in Fitna. Let's just roll right into it because we've already kind of gone over the basics of how it works in turn 1. So we got our cards here for Syria. And do we want to play any of these for events? By any of these, I really just mean this guy. Reinforcements. We could flip a couple units, reduce units back to full. Should do, let's see, we have that guy, we have that armored unit there. Oh, we also got that armored unit there. So probably flipping those 2 armored units, not a bad idea. We could also pick 1 eliminated unit from the force pool so we could get a full armored unit back. So we had 3 units in the force pool, so we could get the full armored unit back, or for slightly less combat power, but we could get a loyal special forces division back. I think it's probably worth it to take the yeah, I think we're gonna do because the 2 fully getting those 2 reduced units to full strength, I think is worth it. So we're gonna play it for that, and we are going to flip the 3rd Armored Division to full strength and the 11th Armored Division to full strength. And we have a pretty powerful force in both those sectors. Not so much worried about this 61st Mechanized Brigade, not that useful. Okay, supply, check supply and everything. We should be all good. That's still isolated, but everything else going on is fine. Now for card play, the truck bombing. I think we're going to hold that because then we might want a +2 for one of these offenses. Otherwise, we're going to play Kurdish Rivalry for the 6 points. So if they, because I feel like even if the rebel player has a Kurdish card, they're not going to be particularly useful right now. So we're just going to use the 6 points instead of trying to counter that. And I think we're going to do maybe 2 movement and 4 offensives, or no, we're going to do 5 offensives and 1 movement point, because I don't think we really need to do anything else with that. Yeah. So the Hezbollah troops can't go too far away from Lebanon, if I remember correctly. They had rules about that. I know they also draw supply from Damascus. I remember that for sure. I believe. Let me see. Where's the rules for Lebanese? I can't find it off the top of my head, but I'm pretty certain they can only basically go in the border areas by them. Let's just check one last spot I want to look at before I go in there. No, I don't see it. I know it's around somewhere, but regardless, it's fine. We're just gonna go with the. I'm gonna go still with my gut that I kind of vaguely remember that they can basically only go in the adjacent to Lebanon spaces, so they're not like gonna be moving out to assault homes or something. At least I don't think they can. So that's what I'm gonna go with for now. But they can be used to defend other areas around Damascus and stuff. But anyway, let's move on to movement. So we can move 2 units. I don't think there's a whole lot of movement we're gonna do. It's mostly gonna be attacks. We are going to move them to Taurus to kind of beef that up, and tempted to just move 1 Hezbollah unit in Damascus just to be safe. I think that's not a bad idea, just to kind of really help keep that safe. Yeah, I think that's it. Now on to offensives. We have 4 offensives. Now what's going to be the most important? I feel like getting rid of these units in Palmyra is pretty important. Might open us up to Dej, but you know, I don't want to risk these units getting damaged, and especially if that coup card comes out, I don't want to have to deal with a bunch of units flipping and totally screwing up my line here, especially with Damascus having only some Hezbollah militia. This is still, I think, worthwhile in destroying. Just they're tying down more troops, and these are not loyal troops anyway, so it could be worth damaging them in case the coup card comes out. Which do I want to do most? Which do I want to do the most? Palmyra is actually probably, because they're isolated, is going to help us a bit. So I think we should do Palmyra for the first offensive. So we'll send them all. Yep. So that's going to be 6, 12, defending 4. So that's a +8. So that puts us on the +8 table. And they're isolated, so we get 2 column shifts automatically to the 14 +17. This is the Syrian rebel player going to play anything? I don't remember what cards they have. 2 column shifts. Yeah, it's not worth it. We'll just let them fight it out. It's not worth trying to expend a card on here for probably not a great result anyway. So we're going to be rolling here. 14-17. We're not the Syrian player is not going to spend a card for this either. 6. Well, that's about as best as we can get. DS, defender surrenders. All defending units are eliminated and put in the replacements. Attacker gains control of the space and occupies all units. His armored units can exploit breakthrough by occupying a space adjacent for your enemy units. Okay. So Palmyra fell pretty fast. 1 single attack. There's no blitz move really that they can do. I guess they could head back to Basir, but I don't really see the point of that, so we'll just call it there. All right, now we have 3 more offensives. I think let's try going for Daraa again, because they wouldn't be able to retreat. I know they get supply from Jordan, but they can't enter Jordan as far as I'm aware. So let's see here. We'll engage with everything. 4, 10, 11, defending 5, so +6. So we're on the +5 to +7. Now, is playing something here beneficial for the Kurds? Let's see, it's not a mountain region, so that wouldn't really help. I think they're just gonna leave it. They don't want to spend one of their combat cards here. Do they want to use truck bombing? The Syrians? No, I don't think so. They're just gonna, because they really want to save card for battling it out near Hama. So I'm straight up, where was I again? +6. Yeah, +6. So we're on the +5 to +17. 1. AR. Attacker repulse regular. Attacker loses 1 step and the whole stack withdraws to its original space. Well, that's not good. So we will lose. I think it's worth just getting rid of this crappy brigade. That's not great. We want to try to bother doing it again. We'll be at a +5 still. This is a tough call. Well, they aren't loyal units, but I also don't want to damage myself too much, because if they stay loyal, if the coup card comes up, then that's a lot of firepower we're losing. And getting some strategic space here might still be more valuable. Ooh, this is a tough call. I think we need to do at least one here and see what happens. So let's do the 1 attack here. So the defensive 6. It's rough ground, -1. Which force do we want to attack with? We got this very beefy force here. Also got a pretty beefy force here. Ooh. Well, we can take a hit on the militia if we attack with this side, even if it's slightly less attack strength. Yeah. Okay. So we got 6, 8, 16 minus 2 for the terrain, so 14 versus 6. That's going to get us plus 8. So we'll be on the 8 to 10, 8 to 10. But I think we're going to play the leadership card will be played by the rebels. That gives them a 2-column shift. So we go from the 8-10 to the 2 to 4. But we'll counter with a truck bombing attack, which gives them 2-column shift on the attack. So we're back to the 8 to 10. So we're going to be rolling on the 8 to 10. Roll a 5. DR. Okay, so we have Defender retreats. Defender loses 1 step from his units, withdraws to a friendly controlled space. The attacker gains it, and as armored units make this. Okay, so Defender loses a step. And then they have to retreat. Let me see about retreating when there's, because they're friendly spaces, there's just units in there. I don't know exactly, I don't remember what the rules are for that. Defending units forced to destroy to a controlled space. They cannot retreat to an uncontrolled space unless it's free of enemy units. Shooting units must conform to stacking limits at the end of their movement. The only space movement means breaking stacking rules. Shooting units move to the nearest connected. Okay, they just keep moving. Okay. So 1 unit will retreat back into this space into Aleppo. There's 2. And then the other 2 units will retreat back to Europolis, which they still control, even though there's no units. And the Syrian guys that advanced are now into Hama. Okay, that's good attack, good attack. So we have 1 more offensive left. Do we want to press back into Aleppo? Not a bad idea. Or do we want to try this again in Daraa? We could also try to press into Idlib. Granted, it's a little stiffer defense. I think we will go for, I don't like having these guys way back here, so we're going to go for another attack down here. So we got 10 versus a defense of 5, so it's a +5. No cards played. It's only not a mountain, so they couldn't play it even if they wanted to. No cards by the rebels. A Syrian player has no combat cards to play, so it's just going to be rolling on the +5. 3. Exchange with heavy losses. So the attacker and defender each lose 2 steps. Oof, okay. It's 2 steps for the rebels. Oof, very bad. Very not good. 2 steps there. Defender unit's not eliminated, so the attacker has to retreat. Oh, that ended up going poorly. All right, well, back, that's the end of that. Oh, strategic movement. We can do 1 strategic move. I think we need to bolster these guys again. So I think we'll move this strength 4, the 10th Mechanized Division out of Tartus and over back to Quintera. Yeah, okay. Draw 4 cards. I think we're going to only take 2 and 2 for the Syrians. They want to try to maybe get a reinforcement card if they can. Oh, good, they did. So that's something they're going to want. They have mobile artillery, diversionary attack. Ooh. Strongest enemy armored unit present in space does not participate in battle. Well, they don't really have armored units right now, so that may come into play if the coup happens, but otherwise not really. Choose a space on the map. Let's see. 2 Terrans. Ooh, that's interesting. Humanitarian tourist that's an interesting one. So you can basically lock a space off. That could be important. Rebels would have really loved that card. They would have loved to lock off like Aleppo. All right, but we move on to the Rebel turn. So they have 3 cards right now, 2 events and an asset. So Severe Winter, which matters in mountainous terrain, which so far is not going to play much of a role at the moment. They also have Mukbarat. Player will look at the cards of his opponent, picks one of them, puts one of them into his own hand. It's turn 2, so they can play this. I think they want to play that because that's pretty good, and that'll give them 2 cards if they use Daesh. So I think first they're going to play this for the event, and then I'll put these in the pile. Play this for the event. They're going to take a look at the Syrian hand, and they go, "Whoa, there's a lot going on here." Do they want to take their reinforcements, which could be very important? Do they want to take the truce and lock off Aleppo for 2 turns? That also seems important. Granted, they couldn't lock things off, because it's the humanitarian truce doesn't really help the Syrian player that much either. So I think they're going to take the reinforcement card from them. Okay, that's in their hand now, and now they're going to use the reinforcement card. Is there a unit they want to pull? The Al-Sham militia are pretty good. We can also just reinforce Aleppo, which is not a bad idea either. I think that we're just going to do that to get Aleppo back up to a decent strength level. Okay, now they're going to activate Daesh. Yeah, okay, so pick 3 eliminated ISIS units, put them anywhere. Any box controlled by ISIS. I don't think we have received twice as many OPs as the number of oil fields controlled as ISIS in order to move up without launch offensives. We're sure there's actually 25 of them. Okay, hold on, let me double check that, because let me look at this. I thought it was just basically, I guess you use them. Well, I get that you get to spawn units in, but let me see. Okay. ISIS counters. Yes. Know that. ISIS activation. Activate maneuver counterplaying one of the Daesh cards. Or 50 and 53. Okay. He randomly picks 3 face down from the ISIS pool, place them on any space controlled by ISIS or an unoccupied space showing an ISIS symbol. Areas no glide on this. If all body. Oh, okay. The ISIS player just receives 2 OPs for each oil field on the map controlled by ISIS. For example, if the ISIS controls 3 oil fields, they get 6 OPs. You can use these OPs to move the all-body counter 1 OP to launch offensive. If ISIS does not control any oil fields, puncture ISIS can always move the all-body counter and move this with or without all-body. Now, I know he's not used. The all-body's counter's not used here. Does that mean they don't get to launch offensives, or just like that's where I'm slightly unclear about this. I'm not sure. Well, we're gonna spawn an uncontrolled ISIS area. We'll put them in Sinjar, 3 in Sinjar. Yeah, Baghdad is not in play, so it makes it slightly confusing to me where I'm not, because I mean they don't get to attack? Oh no, it's move the all-body counter and launch offensives. It's not, they're not related. Never mind. It's not the all-body counter is needed to launch offensives. They can do both. Okay. They do control 1 oil field in Des Azores, so they get 2 OPs to launch offensives. So we're gonna want to do, I think, 2 here with Daesh, since obviously that makes sense. So we're going to use these 3 units to attack this Syrian unit in Haska. So they start down. One of the interesting things about the ISIS units that it comes is they're face down, and you basically don't know what their strength is until you attack with them or attack into them. So we have these 3 units heading into Hasanka with this weak unit. So let's see what we got. Oops.
2, 3. It's a pretty weak unit there. Oh, I got one fairly strong unit. So we got the whole gamut of ISIS quality here. All right. And we got 1, 2, 3, 7 against 3, so it's a +4. We're not going to be... Is the Syrian player going to play any cards for this? No, it's not worth it. We're just going to have to let those units die. Yeah, or probably die. So we got a +4. So we're rolling on this. So that's, I mean, there's still a chance they could be okay. So let's roll. 4. Exchange heavy losses. Well, they at least are going to kill 2 ISIS units. That's good. Back into the pool. And but the Syrian unit is in fact lost. And ISIS is taking control of Sanka. Next up, I think the Daesh is going to have them launch an attack here into Palmyra. So we'll see what happens. We want to see if we can maybe damage a Syrian unit. What we got here? Not a great attack. 5 against 5. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, that's bad. 11, 13. 5 against 13. That's a -8. So we're on this table. So we pretty much just want an exchange. We want a 6 for that exchange. That's... No, we don't get it. So AR heavy losses. All attacking units lose 1 step, which will actually eliminate all of them because they only have 1 step. Well, very bad Daesh attack. Unfortunately, letting Palermo, get attacked by Daesh didn't really work out for the Syrian rebel player here. And next up, let's see. We really aren't going to have any mountains to fight in, huh? So this card isn't really that useful. I think just to get rid of it, we're going to play it for 4. And shuffle some guys around a bit. We're going to move this Al-Sham militia up here. We're going to move this Sunni militia down here. And, yeah, that's 1 OP. I guess we could, in theory, try to attack, but I don't potentially like those odds, even though capturing Raqqa would be good for us. But I don't think it's something I really want to do. So we're just going to hold. Draw 4 cards. We will draw 2 and 2. Let's show another Daesh and a Peshmerga. Interesting. Okay. And that is, there's no strategic movement really to do. So that's the end of turn 2. All right, turn 2 complete. Moved a little faster this time. I think we're going to keep moving pretty quickly from here on out. So that's turn 2 in this Fitna Syrian civil war. And things definitely heating up. Right now, definitely, I think the Assad regime has the advantage. But we'll see what happens here. I think turn 3, I'm going to double check again, but I believe turn 3 we reshuffle the cards at the end of this one altogether, even if we haven't gone through them. So still more chances for the coup to come up, and that could swing things. We'll see what happens. Thanks for watching.